Hello, my name is Don and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about this Arken EP5. And then I'm going to show you how you can buy this EP5 for under $400. So stay tuned. So guys, even before Arken decided to send me a scope out for a review, and guys, keep in mind, I do get to keep this when I'm done. So keep that in mind while you're watching this video. But if you've been following my channel for any length of time, you know that I'm a big fan of Arken optics. When I first started out, I had bought several rifles and I needed to put scopes on every one of them. And I didn't have a lot of money to invest in all these rifles, all these scopes, all this ammunition. So I was looking for something that was budget minded. And that's kind of how I ran into Arken optics. Now, I started off with a couple of SH4s and I bought one EP5. Now guys, all these scopes have always done everything that I needed them to do, and they did it very well. Arken's turrets are just fabulous. I love the turrets on these scopes. You don't commonly find turrets this nice in a scope that you can buy at regular price for around $500. Not only does it have very good turrets, and not only does it track perfectly like it's supposed to, everything on this scope is super smooth. The quick focus eyepiece, super smooth. The adjustable parallax. Now, by the way, this goes from 25 yards to infinity. Everything on the scope works like it's supposed to, and it does it in a way that feels like a quality product. Now guys, these scopes are made in China, but what makes Arken's scopes a little bit different than a lot of the Chinese products that we've had trouble with over the years is Arken owns the plant in China. Now they control everything on the quality control, the product development. Everything is made to their specifications in their own factory. As a matter of fact, the only thing that Arken does not make in-house is the glass and the etching on the glass. Now, let's talk about this mount real quick. If you bought a lot of AR style mounts, you know that you'll stick them on the rail and go to tighten them up, and then you have to push the scope forward so that it will hold up under recoil and it will hold zero. These mounts, you don't have to do that. These things, I don't want to say they snap in like Legos, but they do fit very well on a high quality Picatinny rail. Everything that Arken makes, I have found to be of good quality. Even their bubble levels are of good quality. It's an aluminum housing, very well made. The attachment, everything is very well thought out and very well made. And that has a lot to do with Arken having control of the factory that makes their products. That makes all the difference in the world. Now, it does have a fairly simple zero stop, but it works. It does have a rev indicator underneath the top turret. You know, a lot of the things that make this scope affordable, I mean, it still has the features, but they're done in a simple way that doesn't break the bank so that they can sell this scope at an affordable price. Now guys, I have, I think, 8 Arken products right now as far as scopes go, and I've only had one problem, and Arken warranted that scope, and I had another one on my rifle within a week, which is fabulous. I mean, they took real good care of me, and I'm sure that they'll take very good care of you. Now guys, these scopes are 50 BMG recoil rated. So you could put this on a Barrett 50 or a 22 long rifle and this thing is gonna hold up for you. One of the main things that I found a little annoying, I went to put this particular scope in an American Rifle Company mount. Now their mounts are a little wider at the bottom, and Arken has their purge, this little purge valve cap down on the bottom of the scope, and it hangs down quite far. I really wish they would change this. And I was not able to set the scope down into that mount because that cap was hitting the bottom of the mount. So I couldn't use that particular mount on the scope. That kind of annoyed me a little bit, but I just went to a different set of American Rifle Company rings and I was able to mount the scope still the same way I wanted to. The other thing is the turrets. Like if you're trying to be real quick with them, they can get a little jumpy. So if you try to dial it to 6.6, you might jump to 6.8 and you might have to come back a little bit. But if you're sitting at a bench and you're just turning your knobs normally, you're not going to have that problem. The other thing with the scope is it does have a little bit of a tight eye box. But if you set up your rifle properly, you're never even going to notice it. Once you get your cheek weld set, it's really not an issue. The zero stop, I mean, it's dead set at 0. Now, I've heard there's a different way that you can change this, but it's not real easy to do. But I'd like to set my zero stop past at like 0.5 of a mil. That way, if I'm using a different ammunition and I need to, dial it one way or another because it's shooting a little high or low, I can do that without having to remove the cap and reset the zero. The illumination, only the center crosshair illuminates. So if you're trying to use this at night, coyote hunting, you're going to have to dial out your range unless you have a bright enough light where you can still see the bottom part of the reticle. So I want to sum this up with a little story. About 6 months ago, a well-known optic company had a really good sale, and I ended up buying their flagship product. Now, I ended up getting it for about half off. Well, I mounted it up and I started using it, and there was automatically things I didn't like about it. I didn't like the turrets. I didn't like the reticle in it. I just didn't like the scope. It had Japanese glass, high quality Japanese glass. I'd say that the glass was probably a little better than the glass that's in this. By the way, this does have Japanese glass also. But I started comparing it to the EP5, and I just didn't see where that scope was worth another $400 over what this one was. So I actually sent that scope back, and I bought 2 more EP5s because I was in need of more scopes. I just couldn't see where that scope was worth almost twice the money that the scope is worth. And I found my money better spent buying 2 Arken EP5s. So that's just a little experience that I've had, and this is an incredible value. Now let me show you real quick how you can buy this scope for $397.49. Stay tuned. So go to ArkenOpticsUSA.com. This is their homepage. Let's go to Optics. We'll go down to the EP5, add that to bag. Now go to checkout. So this scope normally costs $529.99. So enter in your coupon. Type in Cyclops. That takes $132.50 off. You get free shipping. That brings it down to $397.49. That's an unbelievable price for a pretty darn nice scope. Now guys, this is not my coupon. This coupon belongs to Cyclops Joe Videos on YouTube. Look him up, check out his channel. He's a great guy. He does really good scope reviews, so go check him out. So at the end of the day, if you're the kind of person that has to have the best of the best, this optic might not be for you. But if you're like the rest of us and you like a good bargain, you like getting more than what you paid for, guys, this is the best thing going in optics right now. This is a true bargain. All right, guys, well, that's pretty much all I got for you today. So if you like what you saw, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you like what I'm doing here, go down there and smash that subscribe button. I have a link to my Patreon and my Buy Me a Coffee in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.